When we walked into Hotel Castaneda, owner Allan Affeldt and his wife Tina were headed out the door with an old bicycle. "Even this bicycle is old," he quipped. Hotel Castaneda in Las Vegas, New Mexico is old indeed. Built in 1898 as the first AT&SF Railway trackside Fred Harvey Hotel, it thrived through the 1930s, struggled through the Depression, and finally closed in 1948. Seeing an architectural gem, the Affeldts bought the hotel in 2014 and began renovations. Join us as we tour the hotel and some of the finished rooms.
So there are 4 different color schemes for the rooms. In the bathrooms, we're using actually a traditional, what's called encaustic tile. So this is how tiles were made in the Victorian era, and if you could see a section of the tile, you would see that the way they make tiles now is they paint them on the surface, right? It's called glazed tile. But historically, Victorian tiles were made like a mosaic. So each one of these colors actually goes all the way through the tile. So they're really labor intensive. They're only made in 2 places, in San Luis Potosi, Mexico, and there's a factory that makes them in England. So we're actually using historic encaustic tiles in all the bathrooms. In the showers here, we recreated the original beadboard detailing and the trim detailing. Of course, all the rooms will have walk-in showers, not tubs, because that's how people use bathrooms now. But you can see how the floors look with the tiles in them. All the doorways had transoms, because that was how you built in those days. So as you remember, many of these doorways aren't functional anymore, because basically that door is on the backside of what would be a suite room. So now only about 40% of the doors are actually going to open. The rest of them are fixed in place. The ones that do open, we're making glass transoms, and every one of these glass transoms will have a New Mexico animal on it. Because what we want to do is talk about the history of New Mexico. So every room is themed for some New Mexico animal, some still here, some endangered, some gone, because that's part of the story of the Fred Harvey history in the Southwest. And every room will also be associated with the Fred Harvey Hotel, whether it's La Fonda here, or wonderful La Fonda, which is here, or the Alvarado, which is gone. Because we want to tell the story about how your staying in these buildings enables us to save these buildings, and how much is lost when these things are torn down. Right? When the Alvarado was torn down, Albuquerque lost its community center. Because these old buildings are so much more than just hotel spaces, right? Because it's where everything happens, everything significant, weddings, funerals, bar mitzvahs, whatever is important to you, happened in these buildings. And when you tear them down, you also lose the history of the community. So what we hope is that in reviving these buildings, we also revive the sense of place. And it's only when you know a place intimately that you will love it and care for it. And that's what's so important to us. So this is not just about having a hotel. The business itself is not that interesting. You check people in, you check them out. But what's interesting to us, right, the business is called Heads in Beds, right? But that's not of interest to us. Otherwise, we'd be buying chain hotels and just operating them. What's interesting to us is creating these wonderful, engaging community spaces, like this bookstore, right? These things are so important because it's only in places like this where we can gather, we can create a sense of community. So here you can see these walls have been plastered. They're doing finish work. In order to do all this trim, we actually took all the trim apart in every room and put it in a morgue, basically, where you stack it all up and you label it room by room. You repair all of the original molding and trim, and then you assemble it back together in the room. So that's just what's required to do a building like this. So now this room has been put back together. This is actually the La Fonda suite, and it will have furniture in it from La Fonda Hotel. Because as you may know, when La Fonda did redecorating, we bought almost 1,000 pieces of their historic hand-painted furniture. We didn't have any buildings in New Mexico at the time, but we wanted to keep the collection together. So Dan and I just got a couple of U-Hauls and piggybacked back and forth to get all the furniture to Arizona, where we had to buy another building just to store all the furniture. And now we're having to just drive it all back to New Mexico. So after we rebuilt the sign last year, we actually had a hanging of the sign last November, and CBS Saturday and Sunday morning came out to film the hanging of that sign. We are now constructing the bar, and most of the historic bars in the U.S. were built by a company called Brunswick, and we are fortunate enough to actually own another Brunswick bar in New Mexico. So we used this to see the appropriate period details for building the bar in Las Vegas. So now we're constructing the bar, and now the bar has all come together, and now there's just some finished details, and the bar will be finished too.
The Amtrak Southwest Chief stops at the Las Vegas, New Mexico depot next to the Hotel Castaneda, making it an easy travel destination. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel.